Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. Joined as always by my main man at FF Snoog and at Broc Dynasty. And we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We got super chats already in the queue. We have 20 plus trades ready to go. And this is your last trade show before the playoffs. I mean, Broc, we are literally 8 days away from your fantasy playoffs. You know, if you don't play playoffs in week 15, 16, 17, then you're crazy, you know, like you're a masochist. But like, this is what we're trying to do. I'm pumped because all the leagues are crazy active right now.
Yeah, it's super exciting this time of the year. I know we've kind of been saying it the past month or so, but I feel like especially now 1 week out, it's going to get crazy once the playoffs start. Because then it's like, you feel like you're just buying rentals at that point. But hey, someone's willing to give you a piece to go ahead and contend, push you over the edge to get that chip. If they want to pick back or something to look toward next year, by all means, go ahead and take advantage.
Snoog, it is Trade Show Tuesday, and every single week, like we start talking about these players, I've been saying for like 3 weeks now, all right, I'm willing to pay a first for Devontae Adams, and he's gone and scored 8 touchdowns over that time, you know, something crazy. I said I'd pay a late 26 for Stafford. He's literally winning you every single week, and it's like a lot of times we get to this time of year, and guys get stingy with their picks, and it's like, do you want a $500 prize in league immortality? Or do you want the 112 sitting there for next year, which next year, 110 through 112, you and I are diving into 26. It's not that sexy.
Exactly. It's all about learning the class, right? Like you talked about, that 27 class, probably more likely to want to keep that pick. But 2026, right now, for me, outside that top 4, I'm not overly excited about what it's going to look like right now. Obviously, things are subject to change. Draft capital, combine, all that stuff could push players up the board. But right now, it's you're focused on winning a championship right now, or you're focused on week 15 if you're not clinching that first round bye, right? So trade that second round pick for, you know, Chuba Hubbard or Rico Dowdle, or trade that third round pick for, you know, Jacoby Brissett, or a fourth for Zach Ertz. Like, make those type of moves, push the pieces in, get the depth for the playoffs that you're going to need to make a run.
You guys see I got the Nico Collins jersey up. We're going to be giving that away around Christmas time here for you guys that are, you know, we get the super chats, the guys that have been going in there. We've been keeping an active streak on that. Broc, I'm feeling good tonight. I'm feeling real good tonight.
What
you know what I mean? I'm thinking if we hit 25, and I don't care if you're already in the Discord, and Snoog, get it going. Free 1-year subscription. Even if you're already in there, if you're in there and you're not already a 1-year subscriber, if you're a month-to-month guy and you've been wanting to make that next step, drop it in today. Snoog, make sure you let them know. We hit 25. I'm going to give away a 1-year. Broc, that's $240 value. We're going to give away
it's the giving season. It's holidays. It's our first December show.
And if Dad's not going to give away on Christmas, who is? You know what I mean? So let's take a look at this first trade, and then we'll jump right into the super chats here because we have a couple of them lined up before we even start. But I love this first trade.
All right. First trade's coming from Ramagons, submitted through the Discord. We got Drake May or Jackson Dart and a random 27 first. Dad, I know you were excited to kick this one off. What do we think here?
Yo, that's going to go down smooth, like the new Peach Jolly Rancher C4. You guys haven't tried this one yet. It's banging.
This is not sponsored, by the way.
No, it's literally not. I just love this stuff. Drake May's the truth. I've moved him up to my Dynasty quarterback 2. Snoog and I did an entire show on foundational quarterbacks, and I do think Jackson Dart is a foundational quarterback. The interesting part to me is, like, right now I would trade Josh Allen for Drake May in a random 27 first, but I don't think I'd tear down to Jackson Dart in a random 27 first. Even if you're rebuilding mid to early, I might consider. But I do think the gap there is considerable, you know, and every year, Snoog, and I want to get your opinion here. We said you sell Jaden Daniels last year for Drake May in that 27 first. Now that Drake May's here, do we sell Drake May for Jackson Dart and that 27 first? I'm not,
just because we know Drake May is going to be an elite level 23 NFL quarterback. He's so good in fantasy, and he's so good as an NFL quarterback. Like, he's an MVP candidate right now, if not, you know, top of the line as the lead guy right now for winning the MVP for this season. They're also, you know, Super Bowl favorites in the AFC. So definitely something that I'm probably not doing is trading Drake May off my rosters. I mean, we were buying him everywhere, Dad. Now we're just stashing right now, unless I'm getting a ridiculous offer like Dart, Caleb Williams, Burrow, these guys plus 2 firsts. I'd consider, but this just not enough for me to make that type of move for a guy that's probably going to go the 102 in Superflex in the offseason.
I love it. We got our first super chat here. My man Tifi Baco.
All right. Appreciate you coming in here early, Tifi Baco, and appreciate the super chat. He said he gave CeeDee Lamb, Chris Rodriguez, Brissett a third next year in 27 and a 28 second, but he got McCaffrey, JJ, probably McCarthy, Jefferson. I guess we'll keep reading in a 26 first. The other team needs a win this week to make the playoffs. Still not guaranteed, though. So, Snoog, what do we think here on this one? Assuming McCarthy, because Jefferson would be pretty lopsided. So, what do we think here?
I think you did a great job here getting CeeDee Lamb, right? I mean, CMC in a first is kind of fire, especially as a contender, but I don't know. In a year or two, you're going to be really biting yourself in the butt, giving up, a 29, 30-year-old running back, or giving up a foundational asset like CeeDee Lamb for Christian McCaffrey in a random 26.
Some clarity in the chat. He was getting that side because he said he gave Lamb. It is Jefferson. So he got CMC, Jefferson, and a first. Yeah, easy.
Yeah, you fleeced.
I even thought it was too lopsided in Jefferson to where I thought it was McCarthy. So that just shows you how much that side's winning.
We are going to be covering a lot of Justin Jefferson trades. I mean, I have gone full circle on this. I mean, you guys hate on McCarthy, but Max Brosmer, that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. That pick six that killed a lot of people, that was brutal. And then it just got worse. And I'm like, okay. Jefferson's pissed with the organization. He came out and said it today. I saw a couple of things that said, and this would blow my mind. Rumor is trade to the Patriots. Could you just imagine him with Drake May? That would be, oh my gosh. I don't want to get too excited.
Tickets. I'd buy a signed jersey. I'd buy a signed card, and I'd buy everything under the sun Justin Jefferson related.
There was a couple teams related in there that they were kind of rolling around with some different ideas, but it sounds like, if they're in a rebuilding thing, it might be a trade possibility. So that would make Justin Jefferson more attractive. That would make Jordan Addison more attractive. I think it could be in the cards, but we're going to go over a lot of different trades where you have some opportunities to buy Justin Jefferson like you never have before, because he's been unobtainable. You've had to overpay right now. And guys, I will pound for pound, he's the best wide receiver we've seen in the last 5 to 10 years, but there are great wide receivers with Chase and Malik Neighbors and guys like that. But he literally, outside of this year, I thought he was quarterback proof. This quarterback play is so bad. He's proving that he is not quite 100% quarterback proof.
Yeah.
He's quarterback proof unless it's like a D2. The kid was playing at UNH, Max Brosmer. It's obviously, we didn't think that would change, but the McCarthy stuff is a little concerning. I wonder why he just cannot figure out how to hit Justin Jefferson. But because before that, Carson Wentz is as washed as they come, and he was doing just fine with him. He was averaging 90 yards a game, so it's just
If they had a guy like Brissett, he'd be eating right now.
And we do have a lot of free agent quarterbacks that are going to be. Daniel Jones was on Minnesota, so he's familiar with it. He's a free agent. Jameis Winston's free agent. There's a lot of guys that we're going to see that could potentially go to Minnesota and be a shot in the arm if McCarthy can't put it together the rest of the season. So we got that first super chat out of the way. Again, we're going to do VIP for 10, 15, 20. We hit 25. We're going to give away a full year, which is $240 value. People are feeling squirrely, just like this trade from my man, Doc Rios.
All right. This one coming from Doc Rios, Superflex League, like typical. Got 105 in Josh Downs or 103, Dad. So you already know where these teams ended up. Would you pay Josh Downs to move up 2 spots? Snoog said after, 4 or 5 kind of falls off. Guaranteeing a top 3 pick sounds pretty good here, doesn't it?
Yeah, this time of year, I look at these as a guy that's in the playoffs, right? And a guy that wants a producer. Now, Josh Downs, not a producer, but a guy that wants a Rico Dowdle, a guy that wants someone that's Stephon Diggs that's not going to help your team next year that much. You say, you know what? All right, I'm not in the playoffs. And Snoog, next year's class, Love's the 1. Tate's probably the 2. Tyson, Lemon, 3, 4. After that, It's nothing's locked up. The quarterbacks aren't locked up. Sadiq is nice, but I'm like, this is the kind of trade right now where if you can move up cheap from 105 to 103, because people just assume like last year that it's a big 6 or 7. Get inside that top 3 or 4 now if you can. And I think you got to like disguise it like this and just say, I don't know how to spell Superflex, but try to make quick deals like this. And I think they're obtainable, Snoog. I mean,
Superfelix.
It was a little bit of that super Felks action. So I like these kind of moves. I love doing
it, Dad. You hit it on the head there. I mean, right now with the sweet spot, we always talk about the sweet spot in rookie drafts. Right now, it's definitely that 101 to 104 spot for me right now. I think the running back and the 3 wide receivers kind of taking clear lead. Obviously, I like Dante Morris, quarterback at Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq, tight end. Really, really liking, Nick Singleton still, Jonah Coleman, some of these other running backs there in that range, Kevin Conception, Denzel Boston. I just think the top 4 guys are pretty far ahead in terms of so it's always like a talent thing, right? Prospect related, like draft capital, but you want to look at floor of value, right, Dad? That matters too. Yeah, sure, Nick Singleton could be better than, I don't know, Jordan Tyson, but Jordan Tyson's so much safer of an asset until they both play a snap, if that makes sense. He's going to hold his value a lot better just because name cachet and what he's done and stuff like that. So I think it's always better to just get into that top range. But yeah, definitely love. I mean, Downs isn't really knocking my socks off, and I can move up 2 spots into a new tier.
Yeah, love that one. Trade the 3 coming from Big Bug 8 coming from the Discord. We've got Gibbs or Hampton 104 and an early 27 first. He's already out of the playoffs, so it sounds like he's looking towards the future. Even though Gibbs is only 23, Dad, 2 picks, both early, plus Hampton seems like a steal.
I'm taking Hampton. And I think this is what it's going to cost you to get Gibbs too. A lot of teams, Snoog, I go through and I start looking, and I'm in 23 leagues, 22 of them Gibbs, CMC, and Bijan are on contenders. Because the running backs, that's where they belong. The other ones, they overvalue them. But if you have an opportunity to buy Gibbs, and I love this because we have this trade here from Big Bug 8, but also they call me young in the Discord, did the exact same trade with an early 26 first on the other side, because he's like, dude, give me Gibbs for the playoffs, right? Hampton sounds like he might be back this week. Real red flag potentially if you're going to plan on starting him, because they said potentially, they're gearing him up towards that. Hampton has the skill set to be worth an early first himself. So, I mean, if I'm rebuilding or if I'm not all in, give me that Hampton side. And if I'm that fringe playoff team, I still want Hampton. If I'm a smash contender, though, I have no problem giving it up for Gibbs, because Gibbs, that left-hand side, it's Gibbs, JSN, Jamar Chase. That's it. That's the only thing you're going to even come close to this. And I think Gibbs is the only one I might do it for.
I agree. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hampton side here, though, especially because, like he said, I mean, he missed playoffs. Even as a contender, I feel like you can afford to make this still happen if you can go get a Kittle, Adams, Jacobs, something like that to just plug and play to get you production and then stash all those. Because an early 27 first, 104, and a top 6 to 8 dynasty running back, I mean, I don't care who it is. That's crazy value to get. So,
yeah.
Rare sighting of Snoog going against Gibbs.
Yeah, it's a haul on the right side there. The next super chat coming from No Huddle FF. Appreciate the super chat. Henderson or Tet, Dad? What do we think?
Teteroy McMillan, hands down. I mean, you're looking at Teteroy McMillan's the wide receiver 9 and 22 years old with mediocre quarterback play. Henderson's showed some flashes. I like Henderson a lot, but I don't think there's a scenario where I would take Henderson over Teteroy McMillan. If we're redrafting right now, I mean, Tet has to be right up there at the top. The fact that he has put up the kind of numbers he has, the volume that he has, if Bryce Young continues to play well or something else happens, he's a top 10 dynasty wide receiver. You can't deny it.
Yeah, I agree. You got to lean Tet here, especially just because of, the way his market value is going to carry. But I think that within the next couple of years.
Yeah. What's the gap? What's the trade?
probably a 2-3 swap. It's close for me. I think Hendo's going to really blow up soon. Like,
Yeah.
he looks so good as a rusher. They're starting to give him more and more touches. Yeah, you're seeing Ramondre sprinkled in there, but like, is Ramondre going to be around for his entire rookie contract? Probably not. It's probably going to be pretty washed within the next 2 or 3 years. So it's like, I think at some point you're just going to get that big Henderson blow up and he's going to be an RB1, and then it's just going to be like a set in stone thing. But I love wide receivers too. So
if I have Tet and you offer me a 2-3 swap, I'm hitting decline immediately. I think it would probably for me have to be like a 1-2 swap, but not like a mid to late first and a mid second. You know what I mean? Not anything that's crazy in there, but that's probably not what you're going to get. And I think Tet is just going to last longer where he is. Even if he has a Drake London, which he's been better than Drake London as a rookie, right? We compared him to Drake London. He's still, a lot of people value him over Drake London, which makes no sense to me. Like, his value should be higher than what it is. And I think we're going to just see his value continue to rise over the offseason as people start to understand what kind of season he had, given what the weapons were around him and things like that.
All right, trade 4 here coming from Asking for a Friend, submitted through Twitter. Got Caleb and a late 26-1 or Lamar Jackson, Dad. Kick this one your way.
I'm sorry. It's Lamar Jackson for me all day long. And people are going to say, well, Dad, you were crapping on Lamar the other day saying he's finished outside he's the QB 32 over the last 3 weeks. He's Lamar Jackson. He's going to put up a 30 burger one of these next 2 weeks. He's got the Steelers this week. He's got the Bengals next week. Round 1 is going to win you your playoffs because he's going to absolutely dominate the Bengals like he always does. I think this is an opportunity to buy Lamar on the cheap. And if you can do it, I'm all for it. I did it on a rebuilding one just because after he already played, his points don't count. So I gave up Bryce Young and 227 mid to late firsts for Lamar because I'm not a huge fan of having Bryce on my roster. It eliminated my points. And then Kyle Williams, I'm sorry here, but he has Kyle Williams on his taxi squad and caught that long bomb. So now we got a big gap there. But no, I'm 100% taking Lamar here. If it's a mid 27 first, I'll take Caleb though.
Yeah, I like the Lamar side here too. I mean, if it's a 27 first, I'd probably lean Caleb a little bit, but Lamar is just so damn good. 2-time MVP. I mean, it seems like every time I own him, it's his down year, which is absolutely frustrating because when I don't own him, he's an MVP, 500-point scoring quarterback. But right now, I mean, he's just been an absolute crapshoot the past 3 weeks. I think it's just the injury, though. And, I mean, if you look at his first 5 weeks this year starting, he had like 30+ in 4 of them. So I'm not worried about like Lamar himself. I'm more worried about what's going on with Lamar's hamstring or what's going on with, one of the injuries we don't know about type of thing for Lamar.
All right. We are 2 super chats in, 5 awesome looking trades. Let's get this one here from my man, Chesty.
All right. Chesty LaRue, shout out through the Discord. We got a rebuilding team for the 101. London or Caleb, Dad? What do you think?
Now, the caveat here is London's not playing, Caleb is. The easiest path to ensure that your max points for or not there is to void out quarterback, running back, or tight end. You want to keep your wide receivers, but if you can void out quarterback, you're going to get 0 points there. I think that's what he's trying to do here.
It's only 1 week, though.
I know, but like if you're Snoog and I are in a bunch of races here where like the race to the 101 for Jeremiah Love, the gap between 101 and 102 is massive. I cannot reiterate this enough. It is going to be like it was for Genty when we were there, where you were talking about you almost needed 2 firsts to move from 103 to 101, and that's where we're at. And we're going to be there, maybe even bigger, because there is no running back that's even going to come close to where Jeremiah Love is. That being said, this is the Caleb side, unless we're talking about Snoog, help me here, because I have a hard time giving up the quarterback. If this wide receiver was, I would do it for Neighbors immediately. I would do it for,
Buka,
it's right. It has to be one of those
top 6 guys.
So basically, you're saying, do you want London and the 101 or Caleb and the 102? Which would you rather have? That's really what the question comes down to. If we're talking like it's 10 points, I want London in the 101 over.
It would have to
Caleb
be
in the
like
102.
20 or less. Like, it'd have to be
Right.
so close.
But that's what he's saying is like, this is to lock it up. So, Snoog.
I mean, it's just this
London,
1 week.
London
Caleb's
101.
got Green Bay.
London 101 or Caleb 102.
It's London 101, market-wise. And
Yeah.
again, we talk about this every year, Dad. After the rookie draft and once the season starts, the 101 and 102 gap is usually nothing, right? A lot of the times the 102 is better than the 101. Gibbs, Bijan. I mean, we've seen it with plenty.
But I don't think it's going to be this
Genty
year.
versus the rest of these guys. I don't either, personally. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think this is like that year. I mean, but even 2022, Breece Hall was like the clear 101.
But
Garrett and London and all
day,
those guys passed them, right? So it's just
on draft day, it's
kinda,
always a 30 to 50% gap in value. So, I mean, you and I have really started to break that down and say, well, think about it. I mean, this year you were getting Omarion Hampton and Tet for Genty. And if Genty would have had to be, like it makes sense to tier back. It makes sense to move back. But it also makes sense to throw in a super chat. So here we go.
All right, this one coming from Dalton Middlestat. Appreciate the super chat here, Dalton. He traded Dart for Stroud in a late 26 first and a mid to early projecting 27 first. Is that fair value for Dart, or was it not enough? So he got 2 firsts late this year, mid to early the next year, Snoog, plus Stroud. What do we think?
Give me CJ all day long. I think that's a cowbell, Dad. Bust it out.
Yeah.
I'm
the Dart guy, and I don't own any Stroud. But I mean, I think Stroud in a mid to early 27 first is enough. That late 26 first is just a little bit of, gravy on top of, and we got a little bit of trash talk, Brock, where we were calling it stuffing, filling, dressing. People like, yo, who are these people? What are they even talking about with that? They started YouTube was trash talking us because we don't like cranberry sauce. So maybe we'll have to have a, a competition to see who has to eat cranberry sauce.
Dad, I mean, let's be honest. That mid to early 27 first is probably going to be the most valuable player in that whole trade. When it's all said and done.
If it's early, it's going to be worth more than.
If it's top
Dart.
5, it's probably going to be worth more than both of them. That's how good that class is going to be, just straight up. So,
all right, just incredible coming through with a For the Love of the Game and a shot at that Nico jersey. Appreciate it, Justin.
And
get that.
We've given away some sweet jerseys in the past. We've given away DJ Moore. We've given away Garrett Wilson. But this one here, this one's sharp. Authenticated by Beckett. It's from Pristine Auction. It's honestly, it looks good on my wall right now. I might not want to send it. No, but I would we'll 100% send it out there. But I think it's got a little bit of extra flair onto the studio here.
Yeah, it looks good. Trade 6 coming from a Big Edward submitted through Twitter. We got May or Mahomes and 2 early seconds. Snoog, what do you think?
I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes here, Dad. I know it's probably not the right thing. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is just so nasty. Obviously, that's not a hot take at all, but I think he's right there with all the other guys. I think you give Allen a slight nudge, obviously, with the rushing, but like Lamar, Hurts, Mahomes, Drake May, they're all, to me, very, very close in value. So I'm going to rarely go against Drake May here with Patrick Mahomes.
I don't mind
do a lot with 2 early seconds.
It's the 203 and 206. I'm taking Drake May all day long. I like it. You tell me the 206 is negligible in next year's class. So you're talking about 203, 206 to get 7 years younger and putting. I can't do it. I can't. I want Drake May here all day. I was getting ready for the cowbell. Like it was starting to come out. Now, Brock, you're a Mahomes guy too. Which side do you like here? And I've come around. I've been buying Mahomes, but we're talking about a 7-year gap in between those two guys right now.
I'd probably take May, but I think this does pose a question. Like, it's not a first off. So if it's not 2 early seconds, then I don't know what it is. Like, no one's paying Mahomes and a first to get to Drake May. No one's doing that I know of.
A late
that
first,
just seems like a lot. That just seems like a lot personally, especially with the Mahomes bounce back this year with all of his weapons. He's been playing out of his mind. 4 touchdowns last week.
You're not going to gain production.
Like, you're not getting you're not gaining anything production. So if you want the age, I guess go ahead and ship a first for it. But like if it's not the first, the early seconds does make sense. But I see what you're saying. Go with the
The
youth. Go
question
with the
there
guy
is,
putting up the same production.
I mean, Mahomes is the QB2 on the year. Drake May's the QB3 on the year. The 206, honestly, is like, so basically we're saying, is it, I don't ever look at those seconds. I mean, what would it have been in this year's class? You would have got like Bashal Tootin and
Maybe
Jaden
Luther
Higgins,
Burden or
maybe
something.
Luther Burden.
The 205 was 205, 206.
Scatterboo was in
206
that range.
really bad. Yeah, Scatterbo was like that 202 to 203.
Yeah.
Dart,
But this year's class,
Dart
but
was
that's
slipping down a
this
little
year's
bit.
class we knew was going to be deep. Next year's class, we start to die at like 7 to 10. I'm just saying it, and that's why we like talking
I think
about
it'll
this kind
come
of
around. It's starting to shape up
it
a
always
bit.
it always
think the
does.
second round, I think the second round this year could be close to last year, just because like all the running backs after Scatterbo got absolutely screwed in the draft.
Yeah.
Like Ollie Gordon went round 6, like all Taj Brooks went like round 7. Like
Devin Neal,
all these
I remember we were
guys,
high on him.
Neal was basically nothing. Like all these guys that were supposed to be day 2, day 3 picks kind of just fell flat on their face because of the depth of the class. I think we could have a better mid to late second round this year than we did last year for sure. Because the wideouts are awful after the top 4 last year.
Yeah. All right. Next super chat coming from Jay Barksdale. Appreciate the super chat, Jay. Got a 10-team super flex start 10. His team right now is Allen, Burrow, Bijan Achane, James Cook, Bucky too.
Great
So that's
team.
a hell of a running back room.
Hell of a squad.
Nico London, Ladd, and then Theo Johnson at tight end. The rebuilding team is offering him Lamb for 227 firsts and 227 seconds. This is currently an overpay. Should he pass? Dad, I'll throw this one your way. Snoog's cowbelling. What do you think?
Given your roster, now I'm with you, Snoog, but I mean, your quarterbacks are insane. Your running backs are insane. I would rather see you trade London in a first than trade all this uncertainty of, or London in a pair of seconds probably isn't going to get it done. But if they're too late, 27 first, this is the way I look at this. If they're both early, you lose. If they're both mid, it's fair. If they're both late, you win. And when we do those kind of trades, I can get behind it. It's just a matter of, is that all your draft capital? Are you putting all your eggs in one basket with CeeDee Lamb, who has put up lesser numbers than George Pickens? You know, like I would definitely do it for a pair of the 27 firsts. You throw in 2 more 27 seconds, we're starting to get towards that overpay status, Snoog, where, you know, like, can you buy Devontae Adams, who's literally better over this stretch than CeeDee Lamb? You get that 127 first. Now you keep that other one in your back pocket. Or do you go ahead and you go all in with CeeDee Lamb because you know you're getting he's no longer a foundational wide receiver, but he is a pillar for the next 3 or 4 years?
I would go all in for Lamb here and take whatever extra draft picks I have and go get George Kittle and fix that damn tight end round. Or I would get Travis Kelce. I know Theo has been, very serviceable, but like, I don't want question marks, right? I want to know that my tight end's getting me a potential 20 points every single game from week 14 through 18, 17.
Also, I put a thing out today. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if the deal's, he said the deal's coming to him. I mean, it's always worth to just take out a second, send it back. Yeah, just take out a second or something.
Use
you can
that
always
for
squeeze
Kelce.
a little bit.
Use that other. Yeah. I put a thing out there today. Like, if I have a second round pick right now, I am buying Kelce. I am buying Jacoby Myers, who's been on fire the last 3 weeks. Like, he's literally what we wanted BTJ to be. I would literally, if I was quarterback needy and you can't get Stafford, I would throw it out there for Brissett, who I think is actually going to maintain this job. I feel like the Kyler era
he's only
in Arizona is like done.
Isn't that crazy?
Kyler to Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I can get behind that. All right. We got Big Edwards there. We are on to good trade here. Love that one, Jay. If you need any further breakdown, hit us up on Twitter. I'm Dynasty Dad FF. He's at FF Snoog. Or put a comment in the YouTube show, and I will email you back and forth, and we'll help you out with that a little bit more.
All right. Trade 7 coming from a Big Fish Dog submitted through the Discord. Got Kenneth Walker, Xavier Worthy, Ashton Ginty, and a 26 and 28 first for JSN, James Cook, Rico Dowdle, and a 28 second Stu. Quite a bit there. But what do we think here?
Yeah, it's
Let's just call them both late.
I really like that Genty side. Genty 2 first, Worthy, Walker, good young talented pieces. I mean, if I'm rebuilding, that left side looks really enticing to me, and then I just can go turn around and flip Kenneth Walker for a first in the offseason when he gets a contract to go play for a better team, like Minnesota Vikings or a team like that need a run back. I don't know, though. It's hard to trade JSN and James Cook right now with the production. It's also hard to sell low on Genty because going into the season, you could argue Genty was a fringe, early second-round startup pick. Then you're giving up, a young receiver and Worthy, a young running back in Walker, and 2 firsts. It's a lot. I think I would need Rico to be like a Kittle, Devontae Adams, someone a little bit better. Rico Dowdle is probably really not going to be much, right? Like, he's probably better than Chuba, but they're both going to play now, and it's just going to be annoying. It's going to be like Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker all over again. Whoever pops a touchdown run and whoever gets the goal line touch that game is going to be the one that produces.
So here's how I'm looking at this one is I think Genty and a late 28 first is the same as JSN and a 28 second. I think that's a fair assessment, but I always gear towards, I want the wide receiver right now. He's my dynasty wide receiver 1 overall. I'm not messing with that. Then I look at Rico. You might as well just throw Rico and Worthy, just throw it out the window because neither of them are worth a first right now, but they're both kind of in that early second range. So then it becomes James Cook or Walker in a 26 first, and James Cook's winning you championships. Kenneth Walker is going to be fine for the offseason. I'm with Snoog. If it's rebuilding, I would consider the Genty side, but I hate giving up JSN. But if it's contending, I sure as heck want that James Cook side. James Cook is my RB4 rest of the season. I've moved him up above both Bijan and Jonathan Taylor rest of the way because Jonathan Taylor's schedule is horrendous. It is the worst playoff schedule there is with 2 Jacksonville's and a Seattle game there, both top 5 run defenses. So that's a tough one for him, but love that one.
All right. We got another super chat in coming from Jaime. Appreciate the super chat here. 14 team, 1 quarterback. He's in first place right now, so way to go. Quarterbacks, Burrow and Dak. Would you try to get Lamar or Jaden? He has a mid-26 first and 28, second. But one QB, you're chilling.
Those QBs are phenomenal, dude.
I mean, Dak and Burrow is like that. That's phenomenal. Dak's been top 6 to 8, and Burrow's back. I mean, I have both these guys in my top 10 rest of the way, and Lamar and JD have. If you said Josh Allen, maybe I'd consider it, but like you don't need it. You got 2 guys there. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. All right. Next one coming from Ryan. Appreciate the super chat here, Ryan. How high does Rashee Rice move up in the offseason without Kelsey? And what would you sell for? Marv plus, any other recommendations? So it sounds like he has Rice right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe prospecting that Kelsey's going to retire after this season.
He's going
get that bump, even more stuff over the middle of the field or more stuff near the line of scrimmage. But would you sell, Dad?
No. Rashee Rice is my dynasty wide receiver 8. I have Chase. I have Chase and JSN, Puka, Neighbors, Lamb, Jefferson, Amon-Ra. That's it. I moved him above Ibuka. He's definitely over Ladd. He's definitely over London. He's over, if you look at what they've done since he's come back, and this is going to blow your mind, but he's actually has the same amount of fantasy points per game as JSN since he's been back. And I know JSN's been balling all year, but like Rashee Rice has been unbelievable. I don't think people have paid attention. So if you're selling it, the only way I'm selling Rice for Marv, I need a mid-27 first on there, and I don't think you're going to do it. I don't think people are going to go that route. I think Rice is a guy. Rice is a foundational wide receiver. He's just 25 years old. You've seen what he can do now, and that's with Kelsey poaching some of that. He leads the league in yak per game. Like, dude, I'm Rashee Rice. You have to blow me away.
Since week 7, he's tied with JSN for most points scored by a fantasy wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So he's as elite as it can get. 25 years old, tied to Mahomes. They're gonna have to start gun slinging too. So,
all right, Dalton coming back for another one. Appreciate it, Dalton. What would you trade a late 27 first? I cannot read for Brees 108 to 110 10-team league, Dad. What do you think?
Brees Hall all day. I've moved Brees Hall. I moved him above Saquon. He's my top. He's in my top 12. I could see him bumping into that top 10. He's going to have his first 1,000-yard season, and a lot of people just assume that he's having a horrible season because he's not finishing top 2 or 3. He's going to walk in the offseason. He's going to go. Since Tyrod Taylor's been there, he's been very serviceable. He's going to go where he wants to go. As long as this isn't 104, 105, and 106 in that class, I would take Breece Hall over any mid 26 first, and I would take him over a random to late 27 first for sure. So, I mean, I think Breece Hall is going to be a lottery ticket in the offseason where you're gonna buy him, and it's almost like Snoog. It's one of those scratch offs where you scratch off the first one, you see a cherry. You scratch off the second one, you see a cherry. The third one's coming. You're going to get the high payout. You know what I mean? So the writing's on the wall. He's going to go somewhere, and his value is automatically going to go up. Like sometimes in Dynasty, that's just easy to predict.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree there.
All right. Trade 8 coming from Isaac Truge 4, submitted through Discord. We got May or Purdy Rome, he's frustrating right now, and the 101. All right. Purdy, Rome, and Love for May, Dad. What do you think?
I have to take the 101. I mean, like,
Rome's a huge sell, though.
Rome and Dunze
almost made me swear for the first.
He almost made me swear for the first time on the show right there. But
Garrett Wilson.
Rome and Dunze is driving me nuts. I saw a thing, and I got to pull this up from PPR tips, but like, I think Rome and Dunze has 2 drops. I'll pull up what it is because they actually referenced it on Fantasy Footballers, but like, Caleb and him are not on the same page. Like, he has something like 45% of his balls thrown to him are catchable. Like, that's insane. It's one of the lowest. It's the lowest in the NFL. Like, Purdy's good. Purdy in the 101 is fair. This is a free roam. Take it and use it as an investment because Purdy puts up really solid numbers, and the 101 is going to be skyrocketing.
Yep. I agree.
It feels weird, though,
Jeremiah
right?
Love. Yeah, but I mean, you're getting a top 15 quarterback, a top 17 to 18 wide receiver, and an RB3 in Dynasty. So
a lot of people are going to crap on us for that particular take there. But last year at this time, Purdy, Rome, and Genty, you would have taken it, and it's still pretty fair if you call it Purdy, Rome, and Genty. You know, like, so you're going to re-roll the dice. A lot of us, Snoog and I have been saying that Love might not be the same caliber as Genty, but he's really close. But you're re-rolling it and not playing for the Raiders. You're going to get a absolute smash prospect.
it's probably
Trade 9 here
overall
coming from Mark, submitted to the Discord. We got. I'm gonna assume Tet. Yeah, I like to keep reading sometimes. Tet and Breece or Hampton, Myers, Gainwell in a random 26 first. Snoog, what do you think?
Give me Tet. Give me the Tet and Breece side. If that's mid to early, I want the Hampton side, but I'll take Tet otherwise.
Well, I mean, McMillan over Hampton and Hall over the rest of that. I mean, I think this is one of those trades that right-hand side to me, Brock, looks like one of those guys where he's like, if I could just fill out my wide receiver 3 and my flex and my RB2, I got this. I'm going to take 2 cornerstone assets like McMillan and Hall, and I'm just like, I'm going to roll the dice and hope that Myers and Gainwell perform. You know, and I don't like that. I just can't get behind this one at all.
Yeah, agree with you on that one. Trade 10 here. This is one with Dynasty Dad and Chesty LaRue. Got one side with Worthy, Rico, and Darren Waller. Other side is, I'm sorry, Dad, but I'm calling him Brian until he puts up more than 10 points. He will no longer be referred to as BTJ. So, or Brian and Blake Corum. Snoog, what do you think?
I'm going to take Brian and Corum. I love what I've been seeing from Blake Corum. Like, he looks like juiced.
He was the toss in there.
Like, playing.
It's a great toss.
And I was trying to – the nice part about this is I was trying to remove the points off my team by trading Rico, Waller, and Worthy. Hey, BTJ's perfect for a rebuild. He doesn't score any points. You know, but I'm like, what the heck are we doing? He's got to get traded.
Misses any time, you flip Corum for a pair of seconds.
He's got to get traded in the offseason. Like, he needs –
You think?
Something – I can't envision – like, what are you doing
They're not
here?
Gonna trade
you know
him,
what I mean?
No,
I know, but like, this is gross.
Very
on
frustrating.
A rebuild, I'm taking shots on it if I can. We have multiple trades coming up here with Brian.
It's kind of funny. It's funny seeing all these like wide receivers like Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas Jr. they're not in the same spectrum, but you know what I mean? Like really talented young receivers
Mm-hmm.
not perform with good quarterbacks. And then it makes you like think about how special Garrett Wilson truly is and what he's done in that awful organization with never having good quarterback play and never having a good coach. And he always throws up like 1,100 yards.
Tyrod's making A.D. Mitchell look good. So, like, I think
is Garrett coming back, though?
Supposedly week 15, 16, 17, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope so.
All right, trade 11 coming from Sean Owens. We got one side with Kittle and Bucky, or Kincaid, Ridley, and an early 26 first should be 103 or 104. Dad, what do you think?
I understand the Kittle Bucky side because you're trying to go all in, but I also like Snoog. I see you doing it. What do you 103 or Bucky? That's probably
take
fair.
The 103, but Kittle and Bucky. To me, Bucky's a league winner the rest of the season. To me, his schedule is ridiculously easy. He got a ton of touches first game back. I think Bucky's going to be a guy that's scoring 18 to 20 points per game the rest of the year. And then obviously, you know how we feel about Kittle on the show.
Yep. All right. Next super chat coming in from Kyle Wynn. Appreciate the super chat, Kyle. Got an undefeated team, 13-0. That's pretty sweet. What are your thoughts on Travis Hunter moving forward? Should he hold right now, or he has 2 27 first and a 27 second? Package him up with some of those picks for Lamb or another top 5 receiver, Snoog. What do we think here? You're holding Travis, undefeated, going for the ring. Maybe use some of those picks and tier up. What do you think?
I'm holding him everywhere. Look what Jacoby Myers is doing in his role right now. Like that's what the role that they wanted Travis Hunter for. That, motion slot guy, went across the middle of the field, went after the catch. That's what he was drafted to do. That's what they started doing with him literally in that Rams game before he got hurt. We started to see that ramp up the last 2 weeks. I think him and Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence are going to be on the same page. Like, that's the thing. BTJ, it plays such a different role. Like, Trevor Lawrence can't have too much stuff being too difficult with him. Like, we've known this about him. He needs the easy stuff. He's always been known for feeding his slot receiver, whether it's Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk. It's going to be Travis Hunter long term. I'd hold him, Dad. I don't know where you're at with that. I'd rather trade picks and keep Travis Hunter and trade picks for a stud receiver to replace him, but you're undefeated. Doesn't seem like you need to do that in the first place.
That's what I was going to ask is you're undefeated. Are you short a wide receiver 2? Are you short a wide receiver 3? Because Travis Hunter, a late 27 first and a 27 second, though, it's CeeDee Lamb. Like, you go out and you win that championship if that's what he really wants. If it's so that's the interesting part is a lot of people tinker where they could have plugged in something simple and they try to go too big. We have that on 2 separate CeeDee Lamb here trades, and honestly, you're banking on 2 guys from Dallas. They're gonna eat this week against Detroit, but you're banking on 2 guys to put up crazy points. And I have both of them top 7 rest of the way, but make sure if you're giving up Hunter and a 27 first plus a second, make sure it is a sure thing that you need CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. It's also the same price that we were saying buy him for on that other guy.
100%.
2 27s and a 27 second.
Yeah.
If you just want to keep Travis and just move the picks, not a bad play either. All right. How many coming back in for another one? Appreciate the super chat here. Same league. His receivers are JSN, Lad, Tet, and London. Should he try and get Neighbors or Garrett Wilson? He's got a mid 26 first, we'll assume, 2 early running backs, J.T. Hampton, Bucky, Cook. Should he maybe try and get Neighbors right now? It seems like
no. Take London, pair that mid 26 first, and get Neighbors. The gap between Malik Neighbors and pretty much anybody in the NFL, not JSN, not Jamar Chase next year, is going to be big. Like, he is going to bounce back. The fact that you can even consider buying him right now, like we have a trade here later that we're going to go over. Give me that. Like, honestly, London's good. Neighbors is amazing. Go get Malik Neighbors. Try to do that. Garrett Wilson, I think you're going to be more of one of those ones where Lad in a second gets you Garrett Wilson, and I would do that all day because most people have Lad way too high. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be phenomenal. Get him a quarterback. Get him somebody semi-serviceable.
Dante Moore, and you're baby.
See, I don't know. I would rather have like a Daniel Jones, to be honest. But and that sounds crazy.
We can't have Daniel Jones at MetLife again.
Imagine being like you were in a coma and all of a sudden you come out and people are talking about Justin Jefferson's unstartable, but make sure you get Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones in your lineup. You're like, what where am I? What happened?
Crazy.
That would be insane.
All right, trade 12 here coming from Icon 3000, submitted through Discord. We got the 103 or Brian and a 27 second. He's already got 1 and 2. So having
I'm
three
getting
top
3 too.
You taking that side?
Brian Thomas Jr. ain't worth a top 3 first in this year's class.
Not anymore.
Not even a top 4. No.
If you were in a coma saying that, like, you'd just be crazy. That's why
Yeah.
almost every year, if you can tear down and you can get another asset, you easily could have sold Brian Thomas Jr. for Tet plus. You could have sold him for Igbuka plus, Hunter plus, Burden plus. Like, we always have these opportunities to tear down. That's why insulation is so important.
All right, trade 13 coming from Z Loading Zone, submitted through Discord. Straight up right now, boys. Who you got higher, Malik Neighbors or Puka Nacua, who I don't want to say has been underwhelming, but
no, he has.
Adams is taking those touchdowns. It seems like he's not really getting the pop weeks he had early on. So Neighbors across the board here, I assume.
Yeah, my rest of the season schedule, I now have Devontae Adams as wide receiver 6 and Puka wide receiver 7. But if you are all in, I advocate that you try to buy an Adams first. But if you get it, this is a fair trade if you're all in, because Neighbors is going to score you 0, right? Like, obviously. But the minute the season is over, Malik Neighbors moves above Puka Nacua. It's just how it has to be. And I like this here. Then he said he also made a trade here. And Snoog, I want to get your opinion on this because you're higher on Caleb than I am right now. He traded Drake May for Caleb and a second. What's the gap right now? It's got to be
swap.
It's I would, if I had May
27 first.
If I had May and you offered me a 1-2 swap, I would say no way. If you offered me a late 26 first, I don't think I'd do it. I would stick with Drake May. He's been that good. But this is what's awesome about Dynasty, because you could have drafted Caleb, trade him for May and a first. Now you have the complete opposite. Yeah. That's why you got to trust your guts.
Real quick, they are a point off in points per game. Same age. One is a better coach. One is a better offense. I think that's way closer than a 1-2 swap. Personally, just want to put in my 2 cents. Trade 14 here.
I can get there.
Well, I was just going to move on. Like 1 point per game. Who is better as a prospect?
I can get there, but I do think
it's like
who has no weapons.
Yeah,
I think that's I don't think what are weapons going to make him do besides pass for more yards? Because like touchdowns are there, the rushing's there. I get all that, but like
they get AJ Brown and you add 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns to the mix. It's like
for him. All right.
Yeah.
Diggs in a dream currently. Actually, Hunter Henry's been pretty solid too. All right. Trade 14 from Matt 14th on the Discord. Got Jefferson or Nico and Jameson Williams. Dad, what do you think?
I'm smashing Nico and JMO. I have them as wide receiver 9 and 11 rest of the way. If Amon-Ra misses time, like he's already going to miss this week, JMO's going to kill the Cowboys. You saw what he was able to do with a number 1 wide receiver role. If Amon-Ra tweaks that down the stretch, you have 2 league winners here on one side versus a guy who's putting up wide receiver 20 numbers right now, 18 to 20 range. So if this is a way, I'm fine giving up on Jefferson for this, because you're still getting a pillar and a potential foundational wide receiver in JMO. So, but I wouldn't do it for Nico straight up, but that's close. JMO puts it over the top for me.
Yeah, I would do this if I can take JMO and flip him for a first in the offseason, which you probably can after he should have a pretty good stretch coming up. Hopefully starts it off big with Dallas on Thursday night, but I'm not sure. I'm not selling Jefferson anywhere. Like, I'm keeping him and I'm buying him. That's like when you get players in these situations, that's all you can really do.
Yeah, you can't sell short, but I don't think this is selling short. I think this is fair value.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I understand. I have some people like messaging me. They're like, "What about T. Higgins in a second?" You're like, "Whoa!" Like, that's not it. That's not it.
Yeah. I saw one in your comments or something. I sent it to my friend, and it wasn't there at all. And it's like the bar's getting low. Which, looking at just his points, you can make that claim, but I think a few other details kind of point the other way. All right, trade 15 here coming from a Big Kahuna through the Discord. Another Jefferson trade, this time for JT and Chris Olave. Snoog, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the J. Jeff side. I remember answering this one in the Discord. I think I said it was really close. Again, if Olave was Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, maybe Lab McConkey, I would smash it, but just slightly off here for me because probably in 2-3 years, JT is going to lose value, even if he's still very productive. We've seen what CMC, some of these other guys have done. Elite production, still only worth like a first and maybe a first and a second. Jefferson's going to be worth 3+ first for probably the next 3 or 4 years.
Contending, I'm smashing JT and Olave. Olave is the wide receiver 7 on the year right now. Like most people don't pay attention to where he's at. But if you got it, I mean, who would you rather start the rest of the year, Olave or Jefferson?
Olave.
It's Olave. So
it's funny.
No
one
Taylor,
watches those games, and I just
they don't.
And I'm like, oh shoot, he had 7 for 90. It's like what?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Boring.
You don't see any plays on red zone.
He's really good.
Tune out that game.
They just don't have a real QB. Kyler Shuck's a joke. What is that?
He's turned the corner a little bit. Like I don't like watching it, but Olave's been fine. You know, I'm actually on the
Olave's a stud.
All right, trade 16 coming from a Go Pack Go through the Discord. Got one side with Burrow and Brian, or Purdy and Jefferson. Dad, what do you think?
Oh, this is like, is it? You're getting the massive quarterback upgrade, but is it like Jefferson Purdy is the right answer? But if you have, because this is what's tricky, right? Is like I think Burrow's going to outscore Purdy by like 6 a game over the stretch. Like the final stretch there, Burrow's going to be fantastic. His schedule's amazing. If you don't need the wide receiver, neither of these guys I feel good putting in my lineup. I feel better putting Jefferson in. The value says Purdy, Jefferson. My gut says if you need it, I'm fine upgrading to Burrow. But Snoog, I mean, this is that weird area. I try to throw in as many Jefferson questions as possible because a lot of guys were asking about it. But at least with Burrow here, you're getting yourself a foundational quarterback, or a guy, not a foundational, but a pillar that's going to be putting up points for the next several years. You're not totally wiping out, but the Purdy Jefferson side wins.
Yeah, it does. It's a close one. I'd want a second on either side to make me sway one way or another, but it's close. It's definitely a close trade, and I don't mind doing it if I need a quarterback.
This name is cracking me up. CEH is a bum. In all caps. Must have been some 2021 or 2022, just like very frustrated.
Drafted the wrong guy.
Yeah. All right. We got Neighbors and Bucky with Quentin, or Nico and A-Chan. Dad, what do you think?
Quick story on CEH here. Tyler Gunther, the owner operator of Dynasty Happy Hour, made a trade with me. We had a league where it was I used to be a writer for Dynasty Happy Hour. It was Dynasty Happy Hour versus the Nerds. We made a trade where I was at the 101. He gave me the 102 and a first. He took CEH and I got Jonathan Taylor. So that worked out okay. I mean, I think I got Burrow low key, but anyways, shout out to Tyler. Awesome guy. Neighbors, Bucky, QJ is nice. Nico A-Chain is phenomenal. Like if you're all in, I think this is an interesting trade, right? Because A-Chain is a top 5 running back the rest of the way. Nico's top 10. I think if you really wanted to go ahead and buy Neighbors, they're trying to do like a stopgap here where you got Bucky, who's going to put up similar to A-Chain, and then you hope Quentin Johnson does something, but you're going to do a lot of hoping, right? You better. QJ puts up a game here and there, but it's not anywhere near consistent enough. Give me Nico and A-Chain.
If I can get a second or a pair of seconds for the QJ in this, I would take Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to slightly lean the Nico A-Chain side, but it's really close for me.
It's close.
Like I'm really high on Bucky the rest of the season with his schedule, and he looked great yesterday. Like he looked like normal Bucky. There wasn't a single thing off about him. He was running hard. He got receptions. Would love to see him get more receptions because he's literally better after the catch than Rashad White. I don't know what they're doing there, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. This one coming from Envy, submitted to the Discord. Got Amon-Ra and Saquon, or Ibuka, Brees, and a 27-1. Snoog, I'll throw this one back your way.
Yeah, I'm going to take Ibuka in the 27 first, Dad. I know you're probably going to cowbell that one for that. I know you said you had Brees over Saquon. Are you at the point where you'd want to move off Ibuka in a 27 first for Amon-Ra St. Brown? Where is that gap for you? Because to me right now, I'm really frustrated with the Bucs offense outside of Bucky. Baker looks like absolute shit. Ibuka's not getting the targets. I think Ibuka had like 2 big 20 to 30-yard catches called back from Tristan Wirfs being an idiot. So he probably would have had a pretty solid game, probably like 15 to 18 points last week. But Baker and him just have not been on the same page the past like 6 weeks. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 touchdowns on the table that were left just because of overthrows or miscommunications.
Yeah. Worf has more touchdowns than Ibuka.
Yeah, Worf scored.
I would take, so I have Brees over Saquon. Saquon is like my RB15 rest of the way. I'm fed up with it. Amon-Ra is phenomenal. But the gap between Amon-Ra is not Ibuka in a first. And this is that move where I would say a late 26 first or maybe a mid 26 first, a 27 first. Yeah. I would take that 27 first by Devontae Adams. I would roll Adams out there and play Adams, Brees, and then be done with it. You know what I mean? Then you got Ibuka. You're not starting Ibuka the rest of the year. Just don't.
Really? I think you got to.
It's 7 out of his last 8 games have been under 10 points. He's literally putting up wide receiver like 30 numbers. It's really bad. You know, like, and it's not all his fault. That's why I've moved Teteroy and McMillan above him. I've moved him down to like wide receiver 10.
I mean, Tet too.
He's still really good.
Tet's been putting up like they're both just like a roller coaster. I know Tet's been on the better side, but like Tet's like 6, 11, 10, 30.
He had 1 catch last week, but obviously
I know it's like what does Baker Mayfield and Bryce Young do? What do they literally do? How are they winning? How are they like who are you throwing the ball to?
Yeah, they put up 30 plus against the Rams, and Ted had 1 catch.
They both play in like the most gimmick check down offenses there is. That's why they're not feeding either of them downfield. It's literally what it is. They just throw crossers, check downs, and flat routes. It's like a joke offense, but it works.
All right, trade night coming from Mike Ox Big, submitted through the Discord.
He's got to change this.
We got AD Mitchell and a mid 27 first, or Ibuka and a 28 third. Dad, what do we think?
I know what side he chose. I know what Snoog. We just said that the mid, like that early to mid 27 first was going to be worth more than Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's worth more than Emeka Ibuka. So the mid 27 first is worth more than Ibuka. Adonai Mitchell for a third. Adonai Mitchell is someone that you and I really loved coming out of college. Got in a bad situation, didn't get any opportunities. He's got 30% target share with the Jets, and this week he blew up. So I mean, like, I honestly want the mid 27 first side. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the game we play.
All right, trade 20 coming from a Chief Taco, submitted to the Discord. We got Rashi and a 26 second, or Brian and Marvin. Snoog, what do we think?
Give me the right side. That's a great package to get.
I want to win. Give me the Rashi right side. Like we're calling Brian Thomas Jr. just Brian now because he's not
just
putting up
Marvin.
any fantasy points. And you just got done saying we would just deal him for the 103. Honestly, Marv's been good, but he's not Rashi good. Like if you're all in, that left side's fine. If you're rebuilding, Snoog's right. Like the right hand side is very enticing.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like so that's kind of where you're at. But BTJ and Marv are not guys that are going to put you over the top. Period. Rashi's going to put up those points. So awesome. We got 10 super chats in there. So we'll do 2. We'll do 1 basic and 1 VIP. Get that wheel ready to go. Again, if you guys are new to the show, make sure you guys hit a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do this every 9:30 Tuesday afternoon, evening, whatever we call this. It's definitely not the afternoon. It's been
definitely not the afternoon.
Hey, we got a lot of snow here. You know what I mean? As I'm moving the kids around. But honestly, it's been a fun show. This is prime time. So we are here to help you guys get over the top. Make sure you guys check us out, patreon.com/smashaccept. And that is your way to get access to Snoog, myself, Brock, literally 24/7. We are there answering questions with guaranteed response times within the same day. Other times we're doing it within, the higher up you go within a 4-hour window. So we are here to help you guys absolutely dominate your league. So let's get it going. Let's roll the dice and spin the wheel.
Go.
Rolling the dice would be awkward.
Boom.
Is that Tiffy? Justin wins every single week. Shout out to you, Justin. Last week he gave his away, so we added someone to the Discord. I made sure that they knew that. He said, "Hey, for the love of the game, put a contest out there." And I do
Give it a
this
shot.
sporadically. I actually put it up there on my Twitter post. I said, first person to comment the word Judkins on this video on YouTube gets a free month of VIP Patreon. $20 right there just because he posted the word Judkins.
Love it.
Let's get that next roll.
Next one, let's roll.
And Jaime's in there as well. Guys, this is definitely a fun show. Again, patreon.com/smash accept down below. Follow at Broc Dynasty, at FF Snoog. I'm at Dynasty Dad FF. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the process. Let's go.